How to get banned from bowling by Daily Dose of Internet.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet.
Do not do that. No. Okay, do not do that. So, what limited understanding I have of bowling alleys, and I'm sure someone here in the comment section could enlighten us a little bit further. Maybe they have experience working at one. Doing this is actually very harmful to the lanes. Because that impact alone there, so obviously, I mean, they're polished wood, right? You are sending that bowling ball flying in an arc, and it is landing in that location. And yes, absolutely, it's haha funny, you get the strike, right? But that can cause a lot of damage to the lanes. That's why you're not supposed to throw them, you're supposed to roll them, you're supposed to just let them go, so to speak. So this can be incredibly harmful to bowling lanes. And yeah, you could get banned. Don't do it. As it comes at, once again, it's not hard to be a good person. Don't be a dick. Literally how this works. Oh, Popper.
I'm not doing it, baby. Nothing's happened.
The police were
He is not having a good day. And there's some animals, there's some pets that absolutely, they don't like it. They don't like getting the nails clipped. And obviously there's, the argument that you do never declaw a pet because it's similar to your last knuckle before your fingertip. You're effectively taking the fingertip off. Just don't do that. Just, you are a pet owner, accommodate your pet. Don't declaw. And, and sometimes with pets, just sometimes they don't like their toesies. Sometimes they don't like their claws being touched or being trimmed. And it can become quite the task, as you can see.
raiding this home, so this guy asked to help out.
What? Oh my god, no.
I need some help.
They can't do that, though. They can't accept it. Well, so that's the thing, is they can't accept that, right? We have situations with a certain muffin man, because I can't say his name on YouTube, because YouTube might actually give me a community guidelines violation because they've done that to other creators, but a certain muffin man who was, I guess Cupcake technically, who was caught by a bunch of YouTubers trying to do something that I can't say on the platform, and they returned it over to the police, but because the police weren't the ones that did it, they had to throw out all of that evidence and all this person had done with this other person of questionable age, right? And yeah, so when you start doing vigilante stuff like that, as far as I'm aware, vigilantism is illegal. That being said, Batman is popular because, he's doing, for the greater good. He also has morals and ethics about what he does, right? And, he's, for his purposes, a superhero, an action hero. When you start doing that in real life, it gets weird and it can muddy up the legal process, and people that really should be behind bars or should be held accountable for their actions and what they're doing and what they try to engage in, unfortunately can escape that accountability because of how the evidence was gathered. That's why a lot of YouTube, we're going to sting this person, we're going to make sure we get this. And even if they turn it over to the police, unless they're actively working with police and following regulations and guidelines, it can actually go awry very quickly. And that, could be dismissible in court, and they couldn't even use that evidence. yeah, that's a mood. It's like, nope, cold out here. I love this cat. Oh my god!
I think it might be a little icy outside.
Contents under pressure. A little bit. So on that, as I've had to fight on ice. Really, it's about, you have to kind of keep your feet flat, and when you move your foot, you have to like when you walk, right? How you have your heel, and then you roll from your heel onto your foot, and then onto your toes, right? You can't really do that in ice. You have to kind of imagine your foot's flat, and then move your leg directly up, so you're just moving it vertical, and then you move forward, and you just slap your foot down, right, flat-footed. So you're kind of pacing your steps, so to speak, flat-footed. And I've had to sword fight on it. Nothing probably as serious as that, but in regards to ice, I've had to fight on a little bit of ice before, and that's how I've done it, or how I've walked on ice, or how I've really changed my approach to ice, because ice is nasty. Gone.
I saw a couple videos on social media about ice cream that you can get at Walmart that for some reason doesn't melt. So I decided to try it out myself and do an experiment to see if it was true. I used an hourglass timer and recorded a time-lapse of the ice cream sitting at room temperature. As you can see, after an hour, it pretty much looks exactly the same.
Ow, what? He does bring up a good point. Okay, but the question that poses is why? I mean, I think your average consumer is going to say preservatives or something, but I don't necessarily think that's the answer. Is it the mixing process? Like how... No, even like gelato and stuff, right? Gelato and ice cream, if left out, they'll do that. Is it maybe a mixing process? Is it a preservative? Did it still retain the cold temperature? Does it have to do with heat retention or lack thereof? This actually just really promotes further, just further thought experiment for me. Like, I'm very curious as to the why, if that makes sense. I love ringnecks.
In case you were wondering,
We all have that one friend. We all have that one friend. Let's watch that again.
in case
We all have that one friend. You know exactly who that is.
you were wondering, this is what happens when there's an earthquake in the middle of a surgery.
Yeah. Just vibing.
As soon as it stops, they get right back to work.
And that's so I used to grow up in SoCal, right? And I lived in SoCal up until 95 to 04. The big, I think it was it was 2000, it wasn't 2004. When was the big wildfire? Like the really big one in like the San Bernardino Mountains. Because I remember that. And not that it's necessarily doxing me. I can say I know the area. I remember that. Like, we had an earthquake in Idaho in like I think 2021 or 2022. We felt shocks of an earthquake, and there were friends that were absolutely just like, "Oh my god, it's just so terrifying." And absolutely, if you've never experienced it, it's quite terrifying. Like, I just thought maybe I'm like, "Wow, did I just like lose my balance or something for a second?" Because I was just kind of like wobbled for a second. Like I was like if you kind of like just lean back a little too far and you have to kind of correct yourself. That's what it felt like. Earthquakes in me they don't really affect me. And generally, I can stay pretty flat-footed. I mean, obviously, that's different if it's of a certain magnitude, and at that point, the ground itself will kind of liquefy, and that's when you get into certain, protectionary measures. But I mean, under a certain magnitude, it's just like, oh, am I dizzy? Like, what happened there, right? But absolutely, it's just, I don't know. That reminded me at a certain point, you're just so used to earthquakes that you're just kind of like, it's just a thing. But there are absolutely other people that are just like, they've never experienced an earthquake, and it is just the most terrifying thing to them.
License and registrations, please.
Yeah.
License and registrations, please.
No, Ossifer, it's hi, how are you?
Ma'am, can you step out of the vehicle? Have you been drinking?
I found a musician that can play instruments by blowing air through his ears.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
These divers found a giant manta ray.
Yeah, that do be a manta ray.
This little guy was so excited to show off the mess that he made.
No, Popper, please. Popper, please. Why are you like this? Dogs are such strange creatures. I don't know. I'm more of a cat person. I can't do dogs.
So I guess if you pet a rat, they will wag their tail like a dog.
Rat. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's nerves in the tail. Absolutely. I could see it. That makes sense.
This is what a pilot sees when they're flying at night.
That's actually pretty cool. That's super pretty. It really kind of is just an electric jungle. Just all these cities.
This is the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.
Oh, that was super cool. I absolutely love this. I thought there were a lot of cool things in here. Bowling, yeah, please don't do that. Please observe rules of the bowling alley. Please make sure that you are observing all safety things. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a dick. Rules to live by. It's not hard to be a good person, that kind of thing. And I get it. Haha, the funnies, right? I get it. But, be the difference and change you want to see in the world is how I look at it. But thank you everyone for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. If you are here and this is your first interaction with Daily Dose of Internet, well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and check out Daily Dose of Internet. There, obviously, it's with all the pause and cut edits that I do, pause and cuts really, and all the commentary that I add. So if you're looking for just the original version, if you look down in the description, you'll see the original channel and the original link to the video for you there. You definitely feel free to go follow. I try to make it as easy as possible for you. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts on this are. Let me know what your thoughts on the tails are for the rats. Let me know what your thoughts on dogs being so happy to showcase their mess off to you. And I will see you all in the next one. It's been fun. It's been real, so to speak. And hope you're all having a good day. And I'll see you all in the next one.